It is 11 o'clock, hour number 2 as we get things going. Chris Stewart, the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, will join us momentarily. AuburnSports.com reported this morning that right now it appears that Alabama and Auburn basketball, that they are scheduled to meet on October 22nd in an exhibition game at the BJCC. The cool part about this is that if the game sells out the BJCC, both Auburn and Alabama could potentially earn up to 6 figures. That's pretty cool.
Are we going to do what we're doing with the game with Tennessee that Alabama has in football the third Saturday in October?
We're going to wear their colors.
Yeah, we're going to go dark colors for both.
That'd be good.
Let's do it.
The Tide will also host Ole Miss inside Boutwell Arena on October 15th before kicking off the season against Sam Houston on November 3rd. Each and every week, we get an opportunity to catch up with the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, brought to you by Craneworks.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah, the big dog's got it.
Crimson Tide Network's Chris Stewart on Three Man Front is brought to you by Craneworks. Lift it, buy it, rent it. The big dog's got it. And now, Chris Stewart.
Chris Stewart joins us on the Higginbotham Hotline. And Chris, we were just talking about this. It is not official. Alabama and Auburn, they have not released an official statement, or it's not official, but AuburnSports.com is reporting this morning that Alabama and Auburn basketball potentially will meet in an exhibition game. Your thoughts on how cool that would be on October 22nd?
Man, I think it'd be terrific. Surprising, frankly, but I know that there was, and I have no idea if this is tied in with, because I was hearing about it from Conrad just a few minutes ago. I was thinking that this is is this, from what you guys are aware of, would this take the place of the previously announced deal with
Ole Miss? Based on what I've seen, no, it would not.
This would be an addition.
This would be an addition because that one's on October the 15th at Boutwell, and then the Auburn one would be a week later on the 22nd inside BJCC.
Okay, good deal. That would be. Look, man, I am all for it, and it's the beauty of. It's one of the great things about basketball is that you can play these type things, and it's like we talk about regular season games too, especially if you're there and you witness them. They have meaning. They do. But when the game is over, you celebrate a win, but you got another one coming, and it doesn't deter, especially now at the level the two have gotten to. And I know Auburn didn't get to the NCAA last year as they have been. But with the level the programs have been, one game doesn't necessarily determine your postseason fate. So that's a major change that we've all enjoyed in the last decade with two programs, or the last half of the last decade, certainly. And go play anything that's going to draw attention. Here we are, like you said, in the week leading into. Or a week and a half away from the start of the season for Alabama and Auburn, and we're all excited about that. But there's something that could be basketball news, and it's truly news. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
There's room for both. Yeah,
and you're creating an additional revenue arm, and we know that's vitally important when it comes to collectives and NIL and roster management.
Yeah.
And you're able to do that. I just wish, and I wonder how soon we are to getting this, basketball coaches wisely taking advantage of this with, as you mentioned, Chris, you got these products. You can't demand that high dollar ticket at Legacy unless you have those products and folks are interested.
Sure.
But you look at football and what potentially, and I realize with injury risk, what you could do with a spring game against another team to create additional revenue. I wonder how far we are away from that, because basketball, we have no issue with it.
Yeah, I have not been told that is on the horizon, but I would not be shocked. Nothing is going to shock me right now in regards to this. I think just about everything is on the table in terms of revenue generation and the opportunity to make this as successful as it can possibly be.
Chris Stewart joins us thanks to Craneworks via the Higginbotham Hotline. Joins us each and every week here on the three-man front program. All right, so let's talk about QB1. It was announced over the weekend that Keelan Russell is the starting quarterback for East Carolina. Not that that should shock many people, including yourself, but man, just a really tight battle between he and Austin Mack throughout the fall. Just your thoughts on Keelan Russell?
Yeah, to me, the most exciting part of this is that everything that I've heard, every conversation I've had, and what I've seen myself, Austin Mack didn't lose the job. Keelan Russell won it. And that is what, we'd heard all through the offseason, the leading into it. It was neck and neck, and I truly believe it was. I didn't get to see all of the first of the two scrimmages that took place inside Bryant-Denny. I was there for about a half hour, and then I had to go to a speaking engagement down in New Orleans, so I had to leave, 40 minutes into it. So, I saw both do some good things, as we talked about last week. I saw some good and some bad from both. Mostly good. But I didn't get to see the whole thing. Well, then we start to hear more and more conversation about Keelan, having kind of taken a step forward. And I think that's what the coaches wanted to see. Somebody grab hold of the position. And again, in no way is it a knock on Austin. They believe, they said it, and I know they mean it. They feel like they can win football games with Austin Mack. They can win and be who they want to be offensively with Austin Mack. But Keelan went out and won the job. And you see him make some throws. And in the scrimmage that I watched last week, I sat in the same spot I'll call games from at Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and he just made some plays that have you really excited. And again, quarterbacks weren't being hit in this deal. It's not this. It wasn't exactly the same as it'll be in a live game action when we go here in a week and a half. But he's going to be a very, very tough guy to stop with what he can do with his arm, the touch that he had on some passes, the accuracy that he had on some of those, but then the dynamic with the explosive capability that he has as a runner. This offense, I think, has a chance to be very, very special, and I can't wait to see how they develop. He's going to have a line, I think, that he's comfortable with. They're not going to be as good week 1 or week 2 as they're going to be in week 6 and 7, but they're going to be good. And it's going to allow this offense, I think, to be explosive. And we know what the defense, what we feel like the defense can be and will be. And that combination together is why the people that are closest to this team and this program are as excited as they are.
I'm glad you went there, Chris. If there's a position group right now at this point in camp, everything can change. This is not an absolute. Just right now, what is that position group at Alabama you feel most confident in?
Most confident in?
Yeah.
This may surprise you a little bit, but it's a little bit off the deal. I love the tight ends because of the depth. And I know that's a weird thing. And they go, oh, gosh, you're most excited about tight ends.
Pat was guessing kickers.
I was thinking
Pat
Lorcan
was guessing
Quinn.
kickers.
I was thinking Lorcan Quinn. Sorry.
Look, let me tell you, I was talking to somebody yesterday who would know. I'll just put it that way. And they're really excited about the fact this thing's neck and neck because in live scrimmage situation, they have both been, I think there's like 2 misses between them.
Oh, boy.
And they don't know exactly who it's – and I'm talking about, live scrimmage situation with in excess of 27, 28 kicks. They're very excited about what those guys can be, and that's a tip of the hat to Connor Talty for the improvement that he's made, but also to Lorcan Quinn coming in and being exactly who they thought he would be when he transferred from Marshall. So I would expect that whoever is not whoever is not handling field goals and extra points in game one will handle your kickoffs. That's how that worked, because they feel very good about both. Now, that being said, I was going with the tight ends of the fact that these guys are really good blockers. Whether you're talking about Caleb Edwards, Josh Ford, Marshall Pritchett, Danny Lewis Jr., as much as you can get him, Jay Lindsey, another veteran. Those are all guys that have seen meaningful time somewhere. I know Josh Ford is a transfer coming in from Oklahoma State, but he has seen meaningful snaps in 6'6", 266. That child's large. So those guys are really good blocking, but they've got good hands, and they're used as receivers as well. And we've seen in this offense what the tight end position can look like and how much that can mean in the passing game. So, yeah, I mean, I know that's not necessarily the first thing that pops to mind, but it did to me, just in terms of where you've got depth, proven talent, and guys that may be really dangerous. I know the receivers have a chance to be as good as any in the country. The running game, frankly, had nowhere to go but up, but will. It's going to be better this year. The offensive front, when you're talking about Jackson Lloyd at a left tackle, when you're talking about either William Sanders or Mal Waldrop at left guard, Rayson Delgado's the center that came in that they feel really good about, and understandably so. And then Michael Carroll at right guard, and whether you're going to have Javen James or Nick Brooks at right tackle, you're in a good spot. And I was with Coach DeBoer yesterday. We were taping his preseason TV show, and he said, he kind of laughed. He said, I took some heat a few weeks ago because I said I wasn't ready for the season. He said, it's because we weren't ready. He said, it's not that we weren't ready for where we were in camp, because we were. He said, but it truly is a process to get yourself ready, to build up, to get ready to go for the first game. And he said, I knew we still had work to do and all that. He said, but I'm ready to see this team on the field now and play somebody. So the game week prep starts, and they will be ready to go in the opener against East Carolina here in a week and a half. And I'm like everybody else. I'm ready to see this team go play.
I am curious, not asking you to give away any trade secrets, but being around Kalen DeBoer as closely as you have over the past couple of years, getting ready to start year 3, does it seem like he has really settled into the position? And maybe this year, does he seem maybe a little bit more confident with what they've been able to put in as a coaching staff with this group of young players?
Pat, the quick answer is yes. But at the same time, I've told you that one of the strengths that I see in him, one of the many strengths, is the consistency. I told you when I was around him for just the first few weeks that I'd never seen a better combination of self-confidence and humility in a person in his position than what I've seen with him. But he's very steady. I mean, we saw it at times last year. He allowed it to be seen. The fire. This is a guy that played 2 sports in college, loves to compete, wants to win at the highest level, coached in a national championship game at Washington, left the program to come be at Alabama because it's not as rare an occurrence at Alabama as it is in Washington, and knows that he knows what Alabama is. And desperately wants it to be there under his leadership and be what we all want Alabama to be. He is also, without compromising who he is and what he believes, capable, willing, and has shown an ability to adapt and adjust. Though what he's brought in on the offensive line, being bigger, adding numbers, and understanding the commitments you have to make to the physicality in the run game, that shows to me the understanding of what the SEC is and what you have to do on a week in and week out basis. That being said, he's still been able to go out and sign top quarterbacks in these recruiting classes, receivers that are capable of maximizing what those guys are, bringing in guys that are best running backs in the country so that you have the balance and the explosiveness potentially in the run game. So the guy gets it, but he's also trusting Kane Womack to do what he's been doing, and that's build incredibly tough, strong defenses. And I was with Kane a couple of weeks ago and even talked to him yesterday. You know, Kane's one of the first moves Kane made when he got the job as coordinator was go sit and talk to Nick Saban and to pick his brain about what he wanted to do, personnel, doing it at Alabama, still visits with him. You know, Coach has been a great resource. And it's not like he's in there every day, but, I mean, he said, how foolish would I be to have that resource down the street and not utilize it? But we know, we've seen it at Alabama, not just what he did before, but Kane knows what he wants done on defense, but it's with the freedom that he's given from the head man to manage that. And don't think that Kalen's not involved, because he is, but he lets people run what he hires them to do. And I'm excited. I really am. It's not lip service, but I'm ready to see this team go play and get better each week.
I'll pry because I'm curious. Pat and I kind of in the same boat this weekend. This is going to be your last Saturday before the college football season starts. Are you going to pretend to be a college football fan for a Saturday? How do you enjoy your final Saturday?
I'll be honest, I'm not even exactly sure. I know it's just come out that, Alabama's going to play a week 0 game in 29 against Louisiana Tech, but I don't even know who the week 0 games are this weekend. I should. I'm going to find them. I'll be excited to watch. I'm sure there's going to be some golf involved at some point. But if I get a chance to be a fan, and I'm excited that I've got the Saturday, but I'll be more excited when I'm getting up bright and early and headed to Bryant-Denny for an 8 a.m. broadcast start to the day for the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
Amen. You get TCU in North Carolina from Dublin. We got Jack State traveling to Fargo to take on North Dakota State.
Man, let me tell you what.
Yep.
Tell me the first game again. Tell me the first game you said again.
TCU and North Carolina in Dublin.
More physical and maybe more entertaining game going on in Fargo than the one in Dublin.
I think we're nodding our heads. We agree. For sure. And you get an ACC opener with Virginia and NC State.
Yeah, I'm not saying the other one will be bad. I'm just saying that those two will get after it. That'll be really good. And what's the other one you were talking about?
You had Virginia and NC State in Charlottesville.
I will stick with Jack State.
That's a good one.
Which of the North Dakotas there in Fargo?
There you go. Chris Stewart, voice of the Crimson Tide. And each and every week, Chris, you are presented by our friends, a mainstay here in the state of Alabama, the Southeast Craneworks.
Exactly right. And last weekend to clean out before the season starts. So if you're a Bama or Auburn fan, then call up Wasteworks. It's a Craneworks company. They got roll-off dumpster rentals in the Birmingham area, a range of sizes and fast service, and they are your source for local dumpster rentals. Visit wasteworksusa.com to get a quote today.
Chris, always enjoy it. It's going to be a fun year.
Same here, guys.
We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you very much. You got it.
Chris
Bye-bye.
Stewart, voice of the Crimson Tide, presented by Craneworks on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Something big is coming on September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, an all-day celebration built for the sports fan. The countdown has begun. All roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in 50 states. That means Alabama, from Texas to California to Florida. Every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. DraftKings Game Day is yours. Remember the date, September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers, sign up with this code, JOX945. Spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code JOX945. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state.
Next, some of the things that Chris Stewart shared with us, the voice of the Tide. Three-Man Front continues on Wednesday. 11:27. Three-man front here on this Wednesday. Fun visit with Chris Stewart, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, presented by Craneworks. Any portion of that interview, any portion of the show you miss daily, go to jocksfm.com and the Three-Man Front podcast. Noto Roofing, that is who we turn to when we needed a new roof. If you need a free roof inspection that they're offering to all of our Jocks listeners, you simply call Noto, family owned and operated, 205-848-2299. They will come out to your home. Chris, who I was texting with just last night, he's a big Braves fan as well. But Chris will come out to your home. He will walk the roof, and he'll inspect it. In some cases, a lot of cases, actually, our Jocks listeners have said Noto was great, and they told us we were good to go. They're not going to try to sell you something you don't need. But if you do need something like we did at the Roberts house, they can put an entirely new roof on. Onyx Black for us. Added some ridge vents. We couldn't be happier. NOTOroofing.com, NOTOroofing.com, 205-848-2299. Tell Sammy that Landrum from Jock sent you.
So earlier this morning, the SEC finalized the following punishments for any program that tries to roster a player who previously signed a pro contract and or declared and didn't formally withdraw with the NFL, NBA, G League, or WNBA per a new bylaw 4.4.3. You ready? Half-season suspension for head coaches.
Ooh.
SEC voting privileges revoked on business matters for the school in violation of the rule. A hefty fine. 50% of that sport's annual operating budget. The league also retains the right to levy other penalties by Greg Sankey and or SEC presidents, chancellors, if they deem it necessary.
Oh, that's not enough? Would you like another lash? How many more? Add 5 more lashes.
Half-season suspension of the head coaches, voting privileges revoked, a fine of 50% of that sport's annual operating budget.
Oh, that's news to me. That's interesting.
Oh, you hadn't seen that?
I hadn't seen that one yet.
Pat Smith Radio
Thank you,
posted
Landrum.
it 18 minutes ago.
Thank you,
I'm going to have to
Landrum.
follow that guy on Twitter.
You gotta
Landrum,
follow
thank you.
Pat. Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. I appreciate
got you,
that.
dude. I got you,
Appreciate
bro.
it. Thank you.
I-
You got my back. You're my teammate.
You
I
need to
appreciate
blame
Our
Elon Musk.
younger brother from another mother. He's a little slower.
You need
Yeah,
to blame
he's-
Elon.
that. Did he get sun poison yesterday being a caddy for Hastings?
I think he did.
Is that what the problem is?
I
was
smelled awful after that.
I was so proud of Conrad. He was a trooper. He wore the caddy get up the whole time, but it was hot.
Yeah, my wife, I sent a picture to my wife, and she goes, that doesn't even really look like a caddy. It just looks miserable. And I was like, I think that was the point more than me actually looking like a
You
caddy.
did look like a caddy.
It was-
Pat,
it
he
had
looked
the
like a
white-
caddy, did he not?
No, when you sent me the video, I was like, man, that's that's Conrad.
The nameplate was a nice touch. That really
It was. You look like Bones out there.
That really helped.
How was Hastings?
It was good.
Is he good that the bet has now been paid off?
Yeah, he seems great. And
Okay.
he was wearing his American gear. It was good. It was funny though.
How'd the course play? Long. Long for your case.
There were somebody in the parking lot who he didn't say it, but he said it without saying it, that listens to the show because he was giving Conrad some final instructions
Oh,
before
yeah.
he went out there.
Did you
We had a good time.
Did you wash Hastings balls?
He
No.
did actually.
Yeah, in his clubs.
Yeah.
Had to shine them up.
Yeah, he would
Take good
have a couple right there in his hand at all times, and Hastings would just reach back.
You didn't like put them on your face like you did the
No,
the
he didn't
bull
do anything
things,
weird.
No, I do appreciate it one time because there may Landrum saved me at one point because there. I'm not saying this to take a shot at Hastings. He may have hit a water hazard at one point, and I was all right. I'll go get it, and Landrum said I wouldn't.
Yeah, Conrad was going to go and jump in the Cahaba. I was like, I would not do that.
There are a few things that could get me. Yeah.
There are 3 ways that, and one of these is going to get you.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few water moccasins down there.
A snapping turtle.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what
You
Landrum
got
said. I need to watch
snapping turtles. Loggerheads.
Oh boy.
Isn't that what they are? Loggerheads? Is that what they call them?
When we come back on Three-Man Front, we'll give you the very latest from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Matt Moscona just gave an update a few moments ago about all the players, what could be next legally as they're trying to figure out what's next, if anything, as the SEC lowers the hammer on anybody wanting to bring someone from the NFL, NBA, WNBA, all that fun stuff to the SEC. We'll get into that next and your text messages here on Jocks. We'll update you on the very latest from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Matt Moscona, who was on this program on Monday, just gave an update on some potential personnel moves within the LSU football program. So we'll give you the very latest there. The big story, not only in this country yesterday, but around the world, was the death of Dolly Parton, 80 years old. She grew up in East Tennessee, Sevierville, right around Pigeon Forge. She did so much that part of the world. She was in Neyland Stadium a few years ago. If you remember that infamous scene in which Peyton Manning brought her out to the end zone, it was Tennessee versus Georgia, and she did a couple bars of Rocky Top.
And came from nothing.
Yeah, came from absolutely nothing.
Sharecropper family had, 11 brothers and sisters, 12?
She did. But she did so much, not only for East Tennessee, but for everyone across the country. And she obviously loved the Tennessee Vols. We thought, now this might trigger some Alabama fans in the audience.
No, it's Dolly.
But it's Dolly Parton, and you got to love Dolly, and you got to love this. This is her rendition of Rocky Top.
Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. How about you? You pick one. I know you did. Whew. I know he always wants to. Now, once two strangers climbed old Rocky Top, looking for a moonshine still. Strangers ain't come down from Rocky Top, and some say they never will. Did you know corn don't grow at all on Rocky Top? The dirt's too rocky by far. And that's why all the folks on Rocky Top get their corn from a jar. Oh, Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Yeah! Oh, you go there, Mando. Yeah, you can play some more fiddle. Now, I've had years of cramped up city life, trapped like a duck in a pen. All I know is it's a dead burn pity. Life can't be simple again. Oh, the Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Dolly Parton passed away at the age of 80. Hey, got a little good news for all of us TV viewers for college football. Front Office Sports is reporting that ESPN is getting rid of the bottom line ticker during college football games.
I like it.
No more ticker at the bottom of the screen.
We don't need it during college football games.
It's already been done away with during the college football playoff games and other big events like NBA and NHL postseason contests. ESPN will not feature the ticker for regular season games that air on ABC, ACC Network, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN News, and the SEC Network. So yes, this includes all of the SEC inventory on ABC, ESPN, and the SEC Network. There will not be a bottom line on the bottom of your screen.
So if you're watching Tennessee or Auburn and their respective offenses and how the wide receivers line up outside of the numbers, maybe this will help if they're coming to the near side of the field.
Not to mention the fact that if you are at home and you've got a dual tuner, okay, and let's say you're watching one game and you pause it, then you go to another game. You don't want to see that score on the bottom of the screen if you've paused the other game.
Yep.
So it helps you out.
You ever watching an ESPN Classic and they have the ticker going and you're not quite sure, is that
the
real-time
today's
ticker?
Or is that the old ticker from the day that the
Because
game aired?
my baseball team at this point last year was actually playing the same team that they're playing today. That'll just make you think. All right, so the ticker's going away.
Ticker is going away. No more.
Had a good run.
During live games. Now, there will be score alerts during games at specific times during each quarter, one source said. There will also be updates in places like above the score bug or at the top right of the screen to help viewers navigate the various schedule changes that occur, such as the present game is running late and a new game is starting on a different channel or platform.
So when do they tell me to go to ESPN News? Like where on the screen are they saying?
Like top right corner. Mm-hmm. The changes should provide a less cluttered viewing experience that better showcases the action on the field and makes sense as a vast majority of fans just check the scores of other games on their phones or tablets.
Yeah, what's interesting is we're watching this, the Verbo Fiesta Bowl from last year in Ole Miss in Miami.
But this is today's
This
ticker.
is today's ticker.
Right.
But seeing it where if the ticker was included in these types of games, yeah, that's annoying. Why am I just now getting this annoyed? I guess that I know it's going away.
You just now
It really
realizing
didn't bother me that bad. And to be fair, I understand, and we're probably on our phones too much, but you have everything there in the palm of your hand if you need to check a score.
Yep.
And a lot of times the scores they're rolling through, you don't care. Or you already watched that portion of the day. By the way, Ole Miss leading Miami with just over a minute left of that game.
I don't want to look over my shoulder. I don't want to see that.
205-834-9450
I don't want to see that.
on the text line. Somebody saying they like it there so they can see the scores. Teach their own. More. Fanboys asking, can we replace LSU with Florida State?
Would you take that trade right now? If that was straight up trade,
What is it?
LSU for Florida State, would you take it?
Oh, we get Florida State and we get rid of LSU?
Yes.
No.
You want LSU. You want Lane.
Yeah.
You want Mulkey.
You want your pound of flesh.
Landrum wants Kim, huh?
No, I respect Kim. I think I was a little bit disappointed that Kim did not see the potential problems that could arise from having a Ukrainian basketball player and recruiting a Russian to come and play on the same team.
A little bit of a conflict.
A little bit of friction there. The Dutchman, I will get to your text momentarily. But first, that sound means there's breaking news here on the show. For more of the breaking news, I'm sending it to one Conrad Van Order. Hello, Conrad.
Thank you, Landrum. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. So we have a little bit of breaking news coming out of Tuscaloosa. So this was reported literally 45 seconds ago. Kane Womack, the defensive coordinator for the Alabama Crimson Tide, he is speaking with the media right now, and he just announced that Luke Metz will start at linebacker for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So that position battle has now been settled. So Caleb Woodson and Luke Metz will now be your 2 starting inside linebackers.
Woodson, the transfer
For the
from
Virginia
Virginia
Tech.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then Luke Metz, the sophomore, has been really impressive in fall.
Yeah, he has.
So,
That's been a guy that's been consistent and kind of the constant when you get these practice reports, and has had a good day out there. By the way, the Kelvin Gilliam guy who played at Virginia Tech, defensive tackle, just got waived by the Cowboys, would be a replacement, maybe a depth piece for Beeman. He's played 5.
Meanwhile, down in Baton Rouge, Matt Moscona gives a little bit of an update of what's going on with the player personnel, because after yesterday's SEC decision, he says representatives for junior Tui Halamaka confirmed to me that the former Notre Dame edge rusher is still eligible to join LSU after the SEC policy release. Tui Halamaka never signed with an NFL team, so he would not fit in because he's just getting the extra year of eligibility.
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out there. I've been really impressed. Pat has nailed that name like 6 or 7 times this week. And that's a
Tui
tough one.
Halamaka.
Yeah, that's one of those where you look at it, I'm not even going to try. But you've got it down.
Say it again.
Tui Halamaka.
It's a fun one.
Tui Halamaka.
Tui Halamaka.
Tui Halamaka.
Say you nailed it.
Yeah,
that's good.
that's a fun name.
Yeah.
I like
It's
that.
because you're used all these years saying Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
Iamali Yaba.
That was always a problem for me.
Big Nagani.
Iamaliava.
Big Nagani, not a problem for me.
There's fun ones out there.
Aroma should do. Obamanu.
Those are good. Matt Moscona goes on to say mutual interest between LSU and former Utah cornerback Blake Cotton, who is in Baton Rouge. Cotton signed with the Denver Broncos, but he would be ineligible per the new SEC policy.
He signed.
Defensive tackle Xavier Harris is also in Baton Rouge, sources confirmed to Matt Moscona. LSU began the fall semester on Monday. The 33 plaintiffs that received a TRO last week have a preliminary injunction hearing scheduled for Monday, August the 31st.
So if LSU they roll this guy out, or roll these players out that have signed, you got the penalty in place. Is this a separate lawsuit that then we're talking about? Is that Lane Kiffin being represented by his attorney, LSU's attorneys? Does it get to that point?
I don't think the only time that LSU comes into play here where they're in court is if the SEC penalizes them for something and then LSU has to defend themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think they're not going to become a plaintiff.
But even if it goes back to court order says that these guys, they can go. But the SEC has come out with a rule that says we're not going to allow it. They can go play somewhere else, just not in our conference. And
Correct.
This is why. So if the guy goes ahead and plays, you institute penalties.
Well, the SEC would view it the same thing as you playing an ineligible player, because according to the bylaws at 4.3.3 that they have now passed, that player is ineligible. So it's no different than somebody that decided not to go to class or is not eligible, deemed scholastically or anything else, from being a member of that football team, or you step foot on the field, then you forfeit.
Just for reference, LSU finished the 2025 fiscal year.
What was their football budget last year? Do you have that number? Because according to the SEC, they could fine them half of your football budget.
All right.
Just like if Will Wade is in violation, they would look at your basketball budget and it would be half of that. That would be the fine.
The overall operating budget was 200 and something million. I'm trying to find how much was football. It's going to be a lot of money, though. And I would think that you have to take it to a courtroom if you're threatening a school with $100 million and levying that fine. I also couldn't imagine it ever getting to that point unless it's the point of, all right, we're leaving the conference. And is a 6-game suspension of Lane Kiffin, does that actually happen first? 205-834-9450. A lot of your texts coming in on the text line. John here, thanks for the Dolly segment. Crying emojis. Rest in peace. Yep. Josh Smith, that was the best version of Rocky Top I've ever heard. Thank you for sharing, guys. Rest in peace, Dolly. Amen. Oh, sweet Dolly. Dutchman texting in. The only time that song has ever sounded that good. That gave me chills. Auburn fan here with chill bumps. War Dolly. Excited about Keelan Russell at quarterback. However, let's temper our expectations a little. Conrad. I added Conrad. There are a lot of question marks about this team still out there, and he can't win the games at all by himself. Dan sent that just for you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the question is, are they going to win 11 or 12 games in the regular season? Which, I mean, that'll be answered in time. But no, there are a lot of questions out there.
Fat Joe, any pictures, videos posted anywhere of Conrad being a caddy? No, because I have not edited that video yet, Joe, and I will be doing that this afternoon. Thank you.
So you were, obviously we were there together with Hastings. Did you send any to Pat? Did he get a sneak peek?
He got one.
He sent me a video.
Your swamp water.
Oh, yeah. You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was good. By the way, I just found the number. SEC football spending for fiscal year 2025. Bit of a surprise. Maybe they hid the money somewhere. But LSU spent $50.7 million just in football. That is compared to Alabama, who spent $82 million.
So 25.
I thought we were poor, Pat. Thought we didn't have any money.
25.35.
Yeah, so that would be a $25 million fine that would go to the SEC offices in Birmingham.
That would buy you 5. I got 5 Sam Levitts.
Alabama spent more money, according to AL.com, fiscal year 2025 on football than any football program in the SEC.
Oh, but we're broke, Pat. No money.
They spent 82.8. Tennessee was next at $74 million.
Dude, that one really didn't work out.
Auburn spent $59.3 million.
Pressure wash that stadium.